Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it. My name is Ricky Davies. I'm 34 years old, and for years, I believed love could be measured by sacrifice. Every month, I transferred money into a joint family account, mortgage help, medical bills, groceries, never questioning where it went. My parents had raised me on duty, not gratitude. But I never imagined that duty would one day become a noose around my neck. It was a Thursday evening when the first crack appeared. I had just returned from the office, exhausted, when my phone buzzed with a message from my mother. "Mom, Ricky, your sister deserves her dream cruise. $4,300 isn't much to ask. We've already promised her spot. You'll pay, right?" I stared at the text, my pulse quickening. A cruise? My sister Lara had just come back from Paris 2 months ago. I called my mother immediately. "Mom, are you serious? A cruise? Why me?" Her sigh was sharp enough to slice the air. "Because you're the responsible one. Lara needs this break. You can afford it." "And if I say no?" Dad's voice thundered from the background. "Then you're no son of ours. Either pay up or leave this family behind." My heart sank. The words hit harder than any slap. I hung up, my hands trembling. For the first time, I wondered, had I been loving them or funding them? That night, I logged into the joint account. My throat tightened as I scrolled through the transactions. Designer stores, hotel stays, spa packages, none of them mine. My stomach churned. I've been paying for their luxuries, not necessities. All evening, I paced around the living room, replaying every thank you that suddenly felt rehearsed. The weight of betrayal pressed on my chest like an anchor. I remembered Lara's smug smile last Christmas when she unwrapped a new diamond bracelet. Dad said it's from our savings. Our savings, my money. Closer to midnight, I made a silent vow. No more blind generosity. No more being their ATM. But deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. My family hadn't just asked for money. They had tested how far I'd go for love. And soon, I discovered the real price of their affection. Sleep never came that night. The blue light of my laptop burned into my eyes as I traced every withdrawal, every transfer. The deeper I looked, the sicker I felt. My parents' account was a map of deceit, expensive restaurants, boutique purchases, even payments to a luxury travel agency. My throat tightened when I saw a recent $5,400 withdrawal labeled simply cash. By morning, my mind was a storm. I needed clarity, not denial. I called my old friend and lawyer, Dana Shaw, someone who'd seen the world strip men bare and rebuild them. "Ricky," he said, scanning the printouts I'd sent, "this isn't carelessness. It's deliberate misuse. These are coordinated withdrawals, months apart, same handwriting, same pattern. They've been taking from you for years." My palms went cold. "How much?" I asked, barely above a whisper. Daniel hesitated before saying it. "Close to $97,000. The air vanished from my lungs. 97,000. My savings for a house, a future, gone. I covered my face, and to my shame, tears slipped between my fingers. "They used me, Dan, my own family." He placed a steady hand on my shoulder. "They used your heart, Ricky. But that's what manipulators do. They disguise greed as love." That evening, I drove to my parents' house, every mile heavier than the last. My mother greeted me with that same practiced smile, the one that used to comfort me as a child. Now it looked like a mask. "Mom," I said quietly, "we need to talk about the money." Her eyes flickered, fear, guilt, then defiance. "You think we're thieves? After all we've done for you?" I swallowed hard. Yes, because love doesn't steal. The truth had finally escaped my lips, and I could never take it back. The air in my parents' living room was thick, almost suffocating. My father sat in his worn recliner, arms crossed, while my mother paced near the fireplace. Lara lounged on the couch, scrolling through her phone as if nothing in the world concerned her. I placed the printed bank statements on the coffee table. "You've been using my money," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. $97,000 gone. Cruises, handbags, spa retreats, all paid for by me. Dad's eyes flared. "Watch your tone, boy. We're your parents. Everything we have is shared." "Shared?" I laughed bitterly. "You drained my savings. You even took money from my retirement account." Laura finally looked up, smirking. Oh, come on, Ricky. You make enough. Why are you acting like we robbed a bank? My chest tightened. Because you did, Lara. You all did. Mom's voice trembled, but her words were sharp. We needed it more than you. Family helps each other. That's what love means. Love? My voice cracked. Love doesn't come with a receipt. You didn't need help. You wanted luxury. And now you're drowning in $500,000 of debt that you hid from me. Dad slammed his fist on the armrest. How dare you accuse us? You're turning your back on your own blood. Tears blurred my vision. No, Dad. You turned your back the moment you treated me like an open wallet. The room fell silent except for the ticking clock. I gathered the papers, each page trembling in my hands. I'm closing the account, I said quietly. You'll have to manage without me. Mom gasped. You really abandon us? I hesitated at the door, my heart splintering. No, Mom, you abandoned me a long time ago. I'm just finally walking away. And as I stepped outside, the night air felt both cold and freeing, like the first breath after years of suffocation. 3 months passed. Silence replaced every call, every message, every trace of the family I once knew. Yet one rainy morning, an email appeared in my inbox. Subject line, we lost everything. My hands trembled as I opened it. It was from my mother. The bank took the house. Your father's loans defaulted. Lara's credit cards are frozen. We need help. I stared at the words, emotion tearing through me, rage, sorrow, pity. I had predicted this, but I never imagined how cruel reality could sound in black and white. Out of restless compassion, I drove past their old neighborhood that evening. The familiar white house stood hollow, windows boarded, the yard overgrown. A single for sale, bank property sign leaned crookedly by the fence. The home that once smelled of Sunday dinners now looked like a ghost. Later that week, I saw Lara. She was wiping tables at a noisy street cafe, her once perfect hair tied messily, hands red from soap. Our eyes met. She froze, her lips parting in shock. Ricky, she whispered, voice trembling. You're here. I am, I said softly. How's life treating you? Her eyes filled with tears. You were right. I thought money would fix everything. But it was you holding this family together. I felt the lump in my throat tighten. For years, I had begged for their respect. Now, in her defeat, I finally saw remorse. Too late to repair what was shattered. Take care of yourself, Lara, I murmured. That's all I ever wanted for you. As I walked away, the wind carried the scent of rain and burnt coffee. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt empty. Their fall wasn't revenge, it was the price of truth. And I was still learning how to live without the chains of guilt. 5 months later, my apartment was quiet. No calls, no demands, no guilt dripping through the phone line. I had started therapy, learned to breathe again, learned that peace often begins where obligation ends. Yet some nights, I still dreamed of my mother's voice, calling me our proud boy. The echo hurt more than I cared to admit. One evening, while leaving the office, I saw an unknown number flashing on my phone. For a moment, I almost didn't answer, but something in me still needed closure. Ricky, it was my father. His voice sounded smaller, almost human. We didn't realize how much we took from you. We just wanted comfort, but we lost you instead. I exhaled slowly. Dad, I wanted family, not repayment. But you taught me love without respect destroys everything. He sighed, defeated. Take care of yourself, son. I already am, I said quietly and hung up. As I walked home under the city lights, I realized freedom wasn't free. It came at the cost of tears, scars, and finally, self-respect. And though my heart still ached, for the first time in years, it beat only for me. Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.